With WWE releases potentially coming soon and more, this is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. With Triple H sharing words with Cody Rhodes at the end of Monday Night Raw, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful reported that the Cody Rhodes Triple H segment was being relayed to some as someone big putting over Cody Rhodes' angle before the show. Staying on the topic of Raw, this was said about Vince McMahon's involvement in the show by Fightful. There were new rundowns brought out shortly before the show. We're told that there were changes and one talent speculated it was due to Vince McMahon. We haven't confirmed the latter part. Speaking about the aftermath of his release from WWE, Colt Cabana told stories with Briscoe and Bradshaw. I knew it was an investment in my future. That's the only place you can make millions of dollars, so I went to OVW for a year and I got over. I wasn't set up to have the best situation when I got called up to the main roster, so I had 6 matches of losing very quickly, but it led to the most success I've ever had in my career, which was my post-WWE career, where I made 10 times what I made in WWE. Recalling the scariest moment during his career in WWE, John Cena told Not Sam Wrestling, "So you know, that started my career, the ruthless aggression era that everyone now romanticizes, which we so often do with the past, like it was great. It sucked for me. I had no direction. I was asked to be a good guy when I got my experience as a bad guy, so I was asked to do something new. I lost my nickname. I had my real name. So what is a John Cena? I don't know what that is. I was too stupid to realize that, like, I could use the 2 words ruthless and aggression and create a personality. I wish I could get that opportunity now, because I do a lot more with that, but I squandered it, and in doing so justifiably, so they started me with Kurt Angle and then put me in a few matches with Chris Jericho. They gave me an opportunity, plenty of opportunity, there's my miss. And then I'm working, velocity, matches have no story or very little narrative because they just need content. That's where you go to go on to your next endeavor. And I was told, like, they make a winter and spring cuts and yeah, you're gonna be in the winter round, just letting you know. Then the European tour in the fall saved me, so that's my scariest moment." Following the news of her ACL injury, Dakota Kai took to social media yesterday to post a photo showing off her knee, as she was seen at a hospital previously. During an interview with Sports Mail, AJ Styles spoke about his time off from action due to an ankle injury, as he noted, "I will tell you this, I thought I might go stir crazy, being stuck at home and not being able to do what I wanted to do, which I did a little bit. I want to go when I want to go and do what I want to do, and when you've got a boot and crutches, it just hinders that and it will drive you nuts. That's what drove me crazy, not being unable to be in a wrestling ring as I thought it would. I enjoyed the time, I enjoyed seeing my kids and my wife, as it's the first time I've been out this long in my career, so it kind of put things in perspective. Like, when retirement does come, I'm going to be okay." Recalling an experience she had with Mercedes Mone in the ring, Zelina Vega told Wrestling with Freddie, "There was a point back when Sasha had just come out to save Bianca from Carmella and I. She had hit me with the Meteora and dude, I felt like my orbital bone broke. I was like, oh my god. Of course, she was super apologetic and whatever, but then I was like, girl, you got a receipt coming." I was so mad. She's like, okay, cool, whatever. Royal Rumble happens, and I knew I was going to eliminate her, and I was like, this is my moment. I think I kicked the soul out of her. I kicked her so hard. She flew back and she landed on the floor. I see her just shaking her head, and I knew she knew that was what I was waiting for. Of course, we were fine afterwards and it was funny, but I remember Rhea going, she was waiting for that one. Yup, that's the one. Touching on her final years in WWE, Saraya would accuse the company of holding her back, telling the Mark Hoke Show, "I was doing Twitch, but I was also being held back so much when I was in WWE because they just didn't give me the freedom to do what I wanted to do, and to even try and find something else that could potentially fill that void, and then also, they didn't want me doing media. They didn't want me to do anything, so I was sitting on my ass for a couple of years, and people thought I enjoyed that. No, I hated that. I was miserable. It made me very depressed, not to the point where I started doing drugs and drinking again because I was a lot smarter by that point, but it would make me so miserable, like not being able to do anything." With a new Saturday show set to debut for AEW, this apparently has talent upset, with Brad Shepard noting on Allow Me to Apologize that AEW stars will be less frequent on the Comic-Con scene thanks to AEW Collision. So you've got the show on Saturday, in theory you can't do both, so you lose out on that Comic-Con money if they are booked on Collision. I was told that AEW talent are not happy about that. They're losing money. Why would they be happy about that? I find that very interesting. Mentioning the news of AEW Collision's announcement, which did not involve CM Punk despite expectations, Jim Cornette told Inside the Ropes, well, for one thing, they couldn't announce the date, not the date, but they couldn't announce the place of the debut episode. They announced the following 5 weeks, and from what I understand, tickets have gone on sale, and they're literally limping out the door, because the press release was to feature CM Punk plus Samoa Joe and Thunder Rosa, and all the other names that were mentioned. They took the big one out of there. I'm not downgrading Samoa Joe, Thunder Rosa, anybody else involved in that press release, but they are names that have either been absent from Ring of Honor television or AEW television, or have been in Ring of Honor, which is not on television, or absent completely, out injured, whatever the case. Nobody in that list has been featured as a star. So people think, well, wait a minute, on Wednesday night, they're going to get, Plummer Moxley and the BCC, and they're going to get Jericho and his appreciators, and they're going to get Daniels, all these big stars, and over here, we're going to get Lee Moriarty or whatever. So again, they've shot themselves in the foot. They had time if they didn't want to put this deal together with Punk, if they weren't going to honor the deal that they did put together. When they didn't, they just 3 months ago say, F it, we're going to figure something else out. Instead, Tony puts a deal together again, is ready to announce it, and it falls apart. Because Tony's people can't keep their deal, something keeps happening. When it comes to WWE's internal reaction to the news of CM Punk's drama with AEW surrounding the Collision show, Ringside News wrote that CM Punk pulled out of the AEW Collision deal, and that caused a lot of noise in the pro wrestling world. We asked around, and the overall take within WWE is that CM Punk is toxic, and there is also disbelief that he pulled this stunt on Tony Khan. Despite all the drama between CM Punk and AEW currently, it appears they are still communicating, as Ringside News wrote. New details have emerged regarding CM Punk's ongoing discussions with AEW. Reports indicate that despite some initial complications, Punk has remained in contact with the company, and productive conversations have taken place. While specific details were not disclosed, sources close to Punk believe that he will make an appearance at AEW Collision on June 17th. There were rumors circulating that Punk had been served with legal papers, but according to Fightful Select, the documents sent to Punk were for various contractual purposes rather than legal threats. These papers covered subjects such as speaking about certain topics, disparagement clauses, and ensuring Punk's availability for scheduled TV dates. The intention behind these documents is primarily to protect AEW from potential situations that may arise. And finally, on news of CM Punk, he would post videos of a recent workout where he appears to be in great shape ahead of a potential return for AEW Collision. On TikTok, a fan going by Billy the Bully has been posting videos talking about Jey Uso. In one clip, she would say she doesn't care if Jey is married. In another, she can be seen in bed with an action figure of Jey as she kisses it while telling fans good morning. Now, it seems this fan has leaked the address of Jey Uso, as this led to the star trending on social media. With calls for a restraining order to be filed against this woman, it remains to be seen what comes of this situation. Fans would react to this woman writing on social media, "There's a fine line between being a fan and being an obsessed weirdo. This is an obsessed weirdo. Y'all hear me out. I like Jey Uso a lot, but I'm not that kind of fan that would leak a wrestler's address, and that's weird and uncomfortable as hell. Like, y'all are some weird people in social media. Y'all are wild. Standing and loving a wrestler is one thing, but finding their address and sharing it online for the world to see is too far. Now you're putting them and their family's life at risk. Prayers to Jey Uso and everyone who's a victim of stalking." It seems that stars will be let go from WWE soon, as WrestleVotes told Give Me Sport. I don't know names at all, but I know a source that is said to expect a minor batch of releases prior to July 1st. I think that's just business. Hopefully I'm wrong on that one, but I would expect prior to the second half of this year a few cuts just because of the circumstances that the company finds themselves in right now. Steve Carrier would add that WWE and UFC are merging under Endeavor's umbrella, and this brought out rumors of mass releases within WWE. Ringside News reached out to inquire whether WWE has started firing people at their headquarters, as many feared they would. We were told by a tenured member of the WWE staff that they are not aware of any such firings. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.